Now, in this video, we will going to discuss about the organization and decomposition in product design. First, we will going to take up the organization in product design. So this is the block diagram wherein ideas and requirements are fed into the concept of generation. Then what you will going to get out of this will going to be the number of concepts. Once you get the concept generation, then it goes to the concept screening, where we will going to eliminate so that we will going to have the effective concept. Then once you have the effective concept, then we will going to use a feasibility study. That means whether it is feasible or not about the concept, whatever we have considered. Then we will going to have the preliminary design. So in this feasibility design, though, we will going to have the product layout with subsystems and functional components. And once the preliminary design is completed, so we will go for the detailed design. For that, we should have design evaluation and improvement. And after that, you're going to have build prototype, so that you're going to have the improved design there. After that, you're going to get the final design. So this is the organizational setup in the product design. First, we are going to consider organizing product design. Product design begins with designing the functional requirements that satisfy a given set of needs and ends up with the creation of the physical object satisfying these requirements. So product design begins with designing the functional requirements. So what on the product, what are all the functional requirements we have to design them, which gives that satisfies the given set of needs and ends up with creation of physical object. So that means you are trying to create the object which satisfies the functional requirement. The process involves various activities and iteration of activities to satisfy the needs and expectation of the desired product. So the process involves various activities which are involved in developing that product, and also the number of iteratives, that means the number of repetitions what you need to do, iteration of activities, so that these iterations will be carried out to satisfy the needs and expectations of the desired product. In view of the complexity in the design process, there is a need for structuring or organizing the activities and orienting the design process. There is a need for structuring or organizing the activities and orienting the decision making during the design process. There are two things here. One is the design and the other one is the decision. Both should satisfy the need for structuring or organizing the activities and orienting the design process. The sequence of activities is conceived. The sequence of activities is conceived in such a way that the product design proceeds from the abstract to the concrete. So what does it mean? So it is from the developing product design proceeds from the abstract. That means from the conceptual design to the product development to get to the entire product. That means from abstract to the concrete. So that means from the initial stage to the final stage. So the sequence of activities is conceived. So that means we will going to develop right from the initial stage to the concepts, from the conceptual stage to the final stage. So what are all the activities which need to be carried out will going to be decided in the product design. It is possible to initially operate in a solution space as vast as possible and subsequently make the process streamline and converge towards a concrete achievable solution. That means initially we will going to have a vast area wherein we will going to invite all the possible conceptual activities, all the conceptual sequences what is required for the given solution, and then we will put together, and then we will going to select the one which is most economical and then also a good quality, and streamline that process. That means you are converging to a single point. So that we will going to be able to converge toward a concrete, that means to the final product, which can be able to achieve the solution. So this is basically the organizing the product design. The next comes decomposition in product design, the second point. In the design of a complex product, it becomes necessary to divide, that means to break the design problem, that is the task, into smaller sub-problems which can be handled more easily, and later recombine or integrate all the design to arrive at the final solution. Because when we take a complex product, we will going to have the multiple problems. So we have to break those problems into a smaller sub-problems, and then which can be handled separately and which can be handled more easily, and then convert them or integrate them so that we will be able to arrive at the final solution. So what does it mean? Say for example, if you are considering the development of a product of the bicycle, so a bicycle will have the number of parts. So one, it may be a frame, and the other one may be a seat, then wheels, and then brakes. Once it comes to the wheels, again we will going to have a rim part, the spokes, and the tire. So each one has been divided into sub problems. So this is the main problem, and these are all the sub problems, so which will going to be addressed, and get all the designs and integrate them so that you will going to get the product, so which is the bicycle. For example, the product design of a product cycle, a product design of a product like a bicycle can be thought of as a collection of more focused design problems. The design of bicycle frame, seat, wheels, brakes, and so on. Dividing the design problem of a product into simpler sub-problems is called the decomposition in product design. So that means dividing the main section into subsections is called the decomposition. That means we are segmenting into the multiple sections. Development teams are assigned to each design problem, which may represent a component of subsystem of the larger system. So that means we have the subsystems. So for each subsystem, we will going to assign the design development team. So they will going to handle all those things, and this is how it will going to be developed. Each subsystem can be further divided into even simpler subtasks, like what we are talking about here when it comes to wheel, and wheels have been subdivided into rim, spokes, and tire. So this is what the subsection into subsections. So each subproblem can be further divided into even simpler subtasks, and the division process can be repeated until the team members agree that each subtask is simple enough to work with. The team chooses the subproblems that are most critical to the success of the product, that are most likely to benefit from novel or creative solutions. So once we do that, then we are going to have the decomposition and integration. So here we have a decomposition, and here we have an integration, and these are all the components. So we have the complex design and integration design. So here this complex decomposition is divided into subsystems, and again all of them are been getting integrated to get the product here. So this is the conceptual stage, and this is the final stage, which is integration. The decomposition and integration of the design process activities must therefore be appropriately balanced in relation to the objectives, typology, and complexity of the design problem. So in the next video, we will going to discuss about the methodological evolution in product design. Thank you.